Hi guys, this is Banu Prakash, and today the topic of discussion is Docker. So we know how much demand we have, for Docker and containerization technologies. So let me go back to the history of containerization, virtualization, and physical servers. So we know physical servers, like if you wanted to purchase your personal computer or any physical server, you might need to purchase different servers. If you want to operate Windows, you need to purchase Windows One. If you want to operate Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS. So like that, you need to purchase all four different servers, and it might cost you $100 for you. And that is why we don't want to go for the personal servers, and we are going for the cloud. As we know, if you go for cloud computing, so whatever the cloud providers, they will provide you the same servers for lesser price. That is why we are going for the cloud. So instead of physical server, we went for the virtual servers. So these virtual servers provided by cloud will be available for the lesser price. So for example, in the personal servers, we might need to invest $100, but in the area of cloud computing or virtual servers, that might cost you for $10 only, because we are using those servers on the rent basis, or the demand basis. So what is the latest concept is containerization. So what is containerization is, we want four servers, but we don't want to take all the servers from the cloud computing. We will take one server, and only based on that one server, we will launch different containers, either Windows, Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, so that we will pay only for one server, and we will enjoy the benefit of all these four servers. So if you go for Docker host or containers or containerization way, you are going to pay less bucks, for utilizing the same features. This is how the evolution happened for the containerization technologies. So what is Docker? Not only Docker, other containerization also available in the market. But Docker provides more efficient, and it is the backbone of Kubernetes also. And Docker is a bit like virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing but the server which we are going to launch in the AWS or any other cloud. But it doesn't have any kernel, and it will use the operating system kernel. That is only the difference between the virtual machine and the Docker. If you launch a physical server or virtual server, we call it as a server or virtual machine. But if you launch a server from the Docker, that we call it as a container. So as many containers we can launch. Just like as many servers we need, we can how we are launching from the AWS. In the same way, as many containers as you need, we can run from the Docker. So this is the basic architecture of Docker. So you can see the bottom layers in infrastructure. This infrastructure can be AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. On top of that, we will launch a Ubuntu server or Red Hat or CentOS or Windows, and then on top of that operating system, we will install our Docker engine. By using the Docker engine, we will launch multiple containers. This is how the concept of Docker. And let's see the next concept, like if you see Docker, it has multiple versions, like Docker EE, that is enterprise edition, Docker C, that is community edition, that is free and open source. Docker C is provided by docker.com. Docker IO is provided by Debian, that is related to Ubuntu. So this docker.io is very easy to install and open source and free also. So the basic component of Docker is, you need to have an image. Like if you wanted to run your operating system also, it needs a base image. Then only you can run your operating system. In the same way, you need Docker image so that you can run your Docker container. You can get the Docker image from the Docker registries. Those Docker registries can be public or private. So if you don't want to use our public images or private images, or if you wanted to build your custom image, then you need to write a file called Docker file, and the starting D should be uppercase. And from the Docker file, you can create a Docker image, and by creating the Docker image, you can launch a Docker container. This process, especially if you wanted to build a custom image. And Docker registries, these are the following Docker registries. Docker Hub, that is URL is hub.docker.com. This is the official Docker registry. If you wanted to use AWS one, that is Elastic Container Registry. Azure one related to Azure Container Registry. Google one is Google Container Registry. These are all the different container registries available. This is the procedure to install a Docker and run a image. So if you see a couple of commands I have placed here. These commands can be used in the AWS Ubuntu machine. Since we are aware of AWS and how to launch Ubuntu machine, so we can run the Docker in the same procedure. You can run the command called sudo su once you launch the Ubuntu machine, and then one by one command you can run. So the arrow marks I have placed here to show the description. But before the arrow mark only, the command will stop. Docker PS. So Docker PS is the to see the list of running containers. Docker PS space -a. That means it will show running and stopped containers. Docker pull Nginx. Nginx is a web browser, web server basically. So if you remember, we have installed Nginx and Apache in the previous sessions in AWS Ubuntu. So instead of installing, we can directly pull the image and we can directly run the container using Docker. That is a command Docker pull Nginx. It will pull the image from Docker registry. So once you pull the image, you need to run that image so that it will become a container. To run this command, to run the container, you need to run this command. Docker run -d -it -p 8080 -name container name. So I have given container name as Nginx, and then image name is Nginx latest. I wanted to take the latest Nginx version and I wanted to run that image. That is why I have given Nginx latest. So this latest is called as tag. If you wanted to have a different version, you can give the version instead of latest. So Docker run -d means detached mode. Detached mode means the console, from the console it will detach so that you can run other commands. -it belongs to interactive mode. -p means port number. 80 in the left side belongs to the Docker host port. 80 towards the right side belongs to the Docker container. -name Nginx. This is the name which you can give. You can give any name as per your convenience. But the last one is Nginx latest. That is the image name. This image only this Docker will run. So once you run this command, if you wanted to see the running Docker container, you can run Docker PS. So if you want to log into the respective container, you can use the below command. But here you need to place the container ID. Docker x-it container ID. Container ID you will get from the previous command, that is called Docker PS. When you run the Docker PS, it will show the container ID. You copy and paste that container ID here and then run this command so that you can log into your Docker container. Once you log into the Docker container, you can validate the application running or not. So if you run this curl http://localhost:80, that means if you are running this command inside the Docker container, so the Nginx will show some of the user interface content. That means it is running. If it is not able to reach, means the process is not running. You type exit. Exit is a command so that you can come out of that container. And you can still run the curl http://localhost:80 on the same Docker host. Because those two are running on the same local host, you can access like this. But if you wanted to access this Nginx outside of the network or from the browser, you need to use the AWS Ubuntu public IP address. I will show you practically once this slide is completed. Docker logs space container ID. If you wanted to see the container logs, you can use this command. Now, if you wanted to run the Jenkins, or in the similar way, all of the DevOps tools you can run as a container, so that you don't need to install anything, or you don't need to go through all the burden of installation configuration. You can simply run this command, because many people already developed Docker images for most of the DevOps tools. So you can use those Docker images of all the DevOps tools, and you can run using the Docker run command. According to your convenience, you can choose. For example, in our previous sessions, we have installed many DevOps tools manually using certain commands. If you go for a Docker, you don't need to you remember all the commands. You don't need to go for all the commands for installation and configuration. You can simply run Docker run and change the image name of your DevOps tool. It can be Nexus, SonarQube, Jenkins, or Tomcat, or any DevOps tool. If you wanted to run, you can simply run it. Now let me show you how we can launch a Ubuntu instance in the AWS, and how we can install Docker in that, and how we can run Nginx and Jenkins. I have logged into AWS Management Console. Now I will navigate to EC2, and from this I will click on running instances. From this I am going to launch one Ubuntu instance. So I will search for Ubuntu here and press enter. You can take any version. I am taking 16.04, and I will select T2 medium is enough. If you want a bigger instance, you can select. Click on review and launch. Come one step back, that is previous. Select the security group. If you don't have security group, you can create one. So here in the security group, by default I have allowed all the traffic. It's a bit security concern, but it's my learning process, so I will ignore that. So you can select the key pair. If you don't have, you can create a one using the drop down. Now the Ubuntu instance will be ready in few seconds. Meanwhile, I will open Git Bash. Git Bash is the way I wanted to connect to AWS Ubuntu. So now I have already downloaded my key pair in the download section. So I have moved to download folder. Now let me see if the Ubuntu is ready or not. I can see instance state is running. I will select the instance, click on connect, and copy the command. And let me maximize this window, and I will paste it here. It is asking us to confirm. Yes. Now I logged into AWS Ubuntu machine. Now I will switch to root. I'll clear the screen and run the initial command called apt-get update. Once the update is completed, we can go for the Docker installation. So we will install docker.io. Docker.io provided by Debian. So this is the very quickest way of installing Docker. I suggest you all to use docker.io in the Ubuntu. It might take few seconds to finish the installation. Post installation, we will run the Nginx and Jenkins. And you can even run any kind of container, as I said. Now I will see Docker PS. See, nothing is displaying. That means no container is running. You can see the headlines, container ID. This is a section you can get the container ID. This is the image name. This is the command which you are using in the particular image. Now I will pull the image called Nginx. So if you pull the Nginx, it will pull from the Docker registry. Now the Nginx image is pulled from the Docker registry. Now I wanted to run the Nginx. -it is missing. -p. I wanted to map the host port with the Docker container, and I wanted to give the name called Nginx, and the image name is Nginx colon latest. Now the Docker container will run. Let's see. Yeah, you can see Docker container is running. So if you run the command called docker ps, then if you are able to see, this means the container is running. Let me log into the container. So this is the command to log into the container. Once you log in, you can verify the running process. See, if you are able to say welcome to Nginx means, that means your Nginx is running. You can come out of the container by pressing exit. Now I will also verify the container is still running. Yes, it is still running. Now I wanted to access the same Nginx outside of the container. So since these things are running in the same network, I can access from the local host. But if you wanted to access from the browser, you must need the public IP address of AWS host machine. So put the port number. Even if you don't put the port number 80, it will be able to access because the default port number is 80. You can see welcome to Nginx is getting displayed in the browser. Now we have successfully able to start a Nginx container. Now let me show you how we can stop a container and then how we can delete a container. You can type a command called docker stop space docker container ID. In this way you can stop the container and you can delete the container using the same container ID. Now the container ID will be deleted. Now I wanted to delete the image as well. So if you type docker images, you can see the docker list of images. I will delete the image using docker RMI. Now this will delete the image. Okay, so each image which you are downloading from the Docker registry, it will consume some amount of space in your host. That in this case, Docker host is nothing but the Ubuntu machine which we have launched. Now, the next topic is how we can run our Jenkins. So this is the command to run our Jenkins. I will copy the command and paste in the console. So let me explain the command. Docker run -d -it -p 8080 is the Docker host. Docker host nothing but the Ubuntu machine which we have launched. And 8080 in the right side belongs to the container port. -name Jenkins is the name which I have given for the container. Jenkins colon latest is the image name. So if you observe, I did not pull the Jenkins image, but I'm directly running the Jenkins command. So even if you directly run, if the image is not locally available on the Ubuntu machine, it will pull the image from the remote while running the container. Let's see how it is. You can see in the first one, unable to find image locally. That is why it is pulling from the Docker registry. So I think it might take a couple of seconds. Yeah, it is doing faster than what we expected. Let's wait for a few seconds. Yes, you can see it is able to pull the Docker Jenkins image and then it is also started the container. Let's validate that. If you type docker ps, it will be able to show the running Docker Jenkins container. If you wanted to log in, docker exec -it, paste the container ID and then bin bash. So in this you can see Docker container data. Here I want to see the list of processes. You can see Jenkins process is running. Now I wanted to validate whether really Jenkins is running or not. 100% is running, but I wanted to show you how we can access using 8080. See, this requires some authentication, but if you are getting this means, that means Jenkins is running. Let me come out of the container. You can type exit and press enter. Now I will access the same from the Docker host. In our case, it is Ubuntu. So I can see the response. That means it is able to access the Jenkins within the container or outside the container from the Docker host. Now I will access the same thing from the browser. So I will put 8080. See, Jenkins is starting. So we already seen how we can install Jenkins. Now you need to get this initial password. How you will get, because the Jenkins is running inside the container, you need to go inside the container and then only you will get the password. Let me show you how we can get that. Type the docker ps and log into the container docker x-it and paste the container id and pin bash. Here you can get the password. So copy the path and use the cat command and you can get the password. This is the initial admin password. Once you enter the initial admin as password, then the next step will go. It will ask you for the installing the plugins. So from here we know how we can set up the configuration and how we can launch the Jenkins. Let me come out of the Docker container. I will see this is the list of Docker containers. Now I will stop the container using docker stop command and then I will delete using docker rm. Now the Docker container is deleted. Now I will see and delete the Docker images. Docker rmi space and enter Docker image name. So this way, today we have seen what is Docker, how to install Docker, and what are the important Docker commands, and how we can run a Nginx image, and how we can run a Jenkins image in the AWS Ubuntu machine. And the next session we will discuss about what are the Docker file, how we can write the Docker file, and how we can build our customized image, and how we can run those images. Thank you.